The Crimson Isle is finally out, and it is a lot different than the old Blazing Fortress. This island is almost as big as the rest of the islands in the game combined. It's massive. There's so much to understand and so much going on. So I figured I would make a video explaining the general starting tips for the Crimson Isle. This isn't going to make you a god gamer. It's not going to make you some Death Streaks level player that's going to be stomping the island, but it should tell you exactly what you should be doing to start off and to get in the right direction of understanding what's going on the island. It's not going to be that specific. It's not going to be that in depth, and that is because there is just so much stuff. I'm going to be going over the bare minimum in each area and hopefully just helping you guys propel your adventure into awesomeness. So if you guys enjoy this video or if it helps you out, I'd really appreciate a like or a subscription. I got this video recorded on the alpha, so some things may change, but I think that most of the things I'm going to talk about in this video are pretty concrete and they're pretty self-explanatory where they're not going to change. So please enjoy the video and let's get into it. So I think to start off this video, it may seem a little weird, but I just want to give you a full layout of the island so I can explain things easier later on, because just showing you pathing from one spot to another is going to be weirder if you don't have the whole picture in the video. So coming out of the stronghold, which is just the spawn, there's going to be something very important off to the right and a little behind you once you get over to this little gate. So if you go up here, there's going to be a dojo, and this dojo is its whole own kind of progression in itself, and it's going to give you a very good item called the black belt. I'm going to post a guide on how to get the black belt separately from this, but just know you're going to come here, you're going to play mini games, you're going to get a belt by getting high scores in all of these mini games. It's pretty fun. It's been pretty laggy on the alpha, but it is very useful. When we move back to the main road from where we were going and keep going to the right, you're going to come towards Scarleton. This is going to be where you're going to find things like the Mycelium collection on your way here, and then you're going to find the Mage faction on this side of the map. Another thing that is on this side of the map is the first mini boss out of 5 that we want to go over. This one is going to be the Mage Outlaw. I would say it's the easiest of all the mini bosses. You're going to see him right there. You can see he has 70 million health, so he is a beefy guy. That is one thing about this island. It is a very, very strong island where you do need a bit of damage, but this guy's not that hard. I'm going to show you some gameplay of me fighting him right now. Generally, the idea with him is when he goes up, don't hit him and just stay moving around. One more thing is that whenever he spawns 2 of those Wither Skulls at the same time, you have to kill them. And yeah, you just have to kill them because otherwise he's going to be immune. Going past where the Mage Outlaw is and going more towards the back of the map, you're going to find the Smoldering Tomb, which is the new Slayer area. One thing that's really important for the Smoldering Tomb is that you talk to the Desperate Engineer right when you get over here, because he's going to give you a grapple shot for 3.5 million coins that's going to double your damage against blazes and stop them from flying. These guys have 5 million health in here at minimum, so having that double damage and stopping them from flying away when you knock them back, because you can see this can get really annoying when they're doing something like that, but having that set up is going to be very nice. And this is going to be where you're doing your Blaze Slayer and just getting all this stuff there. There's also Opal that you can mine, which is a new gemstone that gives true defense, but that is the Slayer area. Moving out of the Slayer area and going a little bit over and to the right, you're going to find the Forgotten Skull. Currently, I'm recording this on the alpha, and Kudra, the main boss of the island, is not out yet. But this is where you will go and matchmake to fight Kudra, I'm pretty sure. Because from what I've heard, it is a 5-player boss fight that is pretty darn insane. There'll probably be another guide out for that, or at least a video of me killing Kudra that I release. It's just that right now, I don't have that, so yeah. Moving right outside of Kudra and walking up over to here is where the boss Ashfang will spawn. Here's some gameplay of me killing Ashfang. As of literally today when I'm recording this, Ashfang just got reworked on the alpha to now be a way cooler boss than any of the other mini bosses, honestly. Ashfang's going to spawn 3 different kinds of blazes around the map. There's going to be red ones that can only be killed by ranged or magic damage. There are blue ones that can only be meleeed, and gray ones that are going to freeze you, make you're not able to use abilities and can only get damaged by these gravity bomb black hole things that spawn around the map. Whenever you kill one of these blazes, they're then going to spawn a burning eye, and you have to click on that and aim it towards Ash Fang to kill him. It's going to take a lot longer than a lot of these other bosses will, but this one is definitely super fun. This one may require a couple other people, but it's way cooler than the old fight, which was basically just clicking on a blaze. So Ash Fang's a bit complicated, but once you get the handle of it, it shouldn't be that hard. From Ash Fang, you're able to actually see the next mini boss, and that's going to be Barbarian Duke X. He's going to be right over here. And this mini boss is not that hard, but I would say he is the hardest of the mini bosses because you actually have to do a mechanic where you are juking his jumps, because he's going to jump in the air and put purple circles on the ground, and you have to dodge those circles or you are going to get rooted to the ground and he's going to deal a lot of damage to you. So all of these bosses are soloable right now. This one is probably the hardest, where you actually have to put in the most thought. I'm back at the exit to the stronghold right by the spawn of the island because I feel like it's better explained on where I'm going from right here, because, you know, maybe you lost track of where I was on the side of the map there. But if we go to the left of the exit here, you're going to find Dragon Tail. This is going to be the home of the Barbarian faction, and it's once again going to have an auction house, a bazaar. It's going to be a full town because these factions do have just the full shabam. They have literally everything you could need, so you never have to leave the Nether if you don't want to. But this is where you're going to get your red sand minion. This is where you're going to talk to the barbarians and do that whole quest line. So this is just the opposite of Scarleton. There are only two more important areas to go over right now, one of them being right next to the spawn. So you're going to see the portals right there, and you're going to walk over to here and you're going to find Blade Soul. Blade Soul is going to be another one of the bosses where he actually has a little bit of annoying damage you actually have to avoid, and he's going to be pretty darn obvious when he's going to try and kill you, because you're going to just start hearing this sound cue, and he's then going to shoot out a big wave of skulls around him, and you just got to run away whenever you hear a bunch of sounds going on at Blade Soul. Other than that, I believe you do have to kill the little mini dudes that he spawns, but they have like 5 million health. So if you're able to kill Blade Soul, you're able to kill the mini dudes, and he's going to be, once again, a pretty easy mini boss. The last area that is super of note is going to be the volcano. This is pretty darn obvious. If you can't see where the volcano is, you're kind of blind, and it's in the middle of the map. This is where you're going to get your lava fishing going, and it's also going to be the home of the magma boss. The magma boss is going to be jumping around. He's going to be doing a bunch of slam attacks, and he has a lot of health. I believe he has like 500 million health now compared to back when he had like 250k on the old island or whatever. So he's going to take a tiny bit longer to kill, but generally his mechanic is just kill stuff. There's nothing that weird going on. He's not going to deal that much damage, and it looks like someone somehow brought Blade Soul all the way over to the magma boss. So that's kind of interesting. The first thing that I think you should do once you know the layout, or once you're trying to get going on the island, is join a faction. Factions are very important, and you want to get on that grind as fast as possible, because you need a lot of reputation in each of these factions to unlock a specific tier 12 minion, and also to unlock the purchase of these different keys for the main boss. Generally, you're just going to talk to Elle and complete her quest. I have a full video talking about the quest on how you join a faction. I'm going to recommend that everyone joins the mage faction. I know that's weird because there's not an insane amount of difference between each faction, but mage has the ability to buy an item that barbarians don't. It's not a necessary item at all, but it's going to be these abaphones, and they're going to allow you to add contacts to your phone and call them, and it can be a little useful. Like, you can throw Maddox in here, you can throw a bunch of other stuff in here, and Barbarian doesn't have anything along the lines of abaphone, so I don't see a reason why you would go Barbarian over Mage, at least at the beginning. Once you join a faction, you can actually come over to the daily quest board in here. And this daily quest board is just going to be right at the entrance of each of these towns. It's pretty obvious. In Scarleton, it's literally right here. And these daily quests are going to be one of your main ways of getting reputation. You can see I have a quest to go kill Ashfang 3 times for 125 rep. Or to go do one of the dojo games, I have to go do the test of stamina with a minimum rating of D to get 50 mage rep. So you're going to want to do as many of these as you can per day. Right now on the alpha, I literally can't go and do this one because it's going to tell me to go kill Kudra in the basic tier, but all of these other than that are at least a little finishable. The fishing ones can be a little weird because they're going to tell you to go and get some of these trophy fish, but some of them aren't even found yet because they have some pretty weird requirements. So I may put up a guide eventually on how to get each trophy fish, but generally these quests aren't that bad. One thing that I do want to point out about fishing, I am inside of the volcano right now. If you want to get started on your fishing quest, I believe your faction quest is going to point you to here at some point. But if you aren't progressing in your faction quest and you still want to get started with fishing, all you have to do is come up to the top of the volcano right here and talk to this guy, Odger. He's going to give you your starter magma rod and he's going to turn in all your trophy fishing and all the new systems. Trophy fishing is generally just catching things in specific spots and doing specific things. So he's going to have all of that kind of stuff right here, and he's going to be your way to get into lava fishing, because if you didn't know, normal rods will no longer work in lava. You got to use the lava fishing rods. So he's going to be the way to get into that. If we're talking about starter stuff, you got to do the dojo early on. The dojo is going to give you a belt. Right now, I have the blue belt, and it's going to reduce my damage taken by 4%. The black belt is going to reduce your damage taken by 6%. It used to be 12, but they nerfed it a tiny bit. And this is it's just really good. It is a flat damage reduction. It's the best equipment in that slot. And I definitely recommend everyone should go do it. Another thing about the dojo is even if you're a massive noob, even if you can't deal the damage to kill these million health mobs and the 70 million health mini bosses, dojo doesn't require any items, and it actually doesn't allow you to use any items. You're going to see if I try and join a game right now, he's going to say he only tests people who use their bear skills, no extra help allowed. Store all your items away. You can't have armor on. You can't even have the dang belt on when you go in here. So the dojo is going to be a very good way of getting that equipment slot filled up. And it's going to be an insane damage reduction for every part of the game. So go here and do it as early as you can. This update added 4 new collections. The collections are as follows. There's magma fish, which obviously you get from fishing. You get it from the lava fishing. And this is a pretty long collection, but it is going to be very good when you're leveling it up. And it's probably going to make decent money if you're doing it. The other collections are going to be mycelium, red sand, and sulfur. Sulfur is the only one that is a tiny bit weird in its obtaining, because like mycelium, you can come here and just mine the mycelium. It's not that bad. It's a little annoying that the cows attack you, but so what? You still get to grind mycelium here. Sulfur is going to be something that drops from corrupted mobs. I actually have an item that makes mobs corrupted that you unlock inside of the sulfur collection. So you can see, I'm going to just put this down, and it's going to make these guys have triple the health, and they're going to drop sulfur whenever I kill them. So I'm going to kill this guy. You're going to see sulfur right there. Yay. But corrupted mobs don't spawn super often around the island and can be a little bit annoying to find. So there is another way to get sulfur, and that is from the volcano eruption. I'm going to show some gameplay of that right now. This is an event that happens on the island where the volcano rises its lava level for a bit, and then it's just going to start spewing out sulfur all over the map. You're going to see I'm mining it in this footage. I don't know how often this event happens, but if you want to get sulfur collection, I would say the best way is to wait for this eruption and then lobby hop around the eruption, because I believe every eruption happens at about the same time in every lobby. It's similar to the magma boss in that way from the island of old, because now the magma boss is just a super fast respawning thing, but this could be the 2-hour timer now. It could be the new thing. So get your sulfur via that if you want to max out that collection, and then definitely get the Totem of Corruption, because this is going to make sulfur grinding much easier when it's not the eruption. that is pretty much all I want to go over in this starter guide. This will definitely get you on the right track on the island. Do your dailies as much as possible. Start grinding up materials, because you're going to need a lot of materials for Blaze Slayer. You're going to need a lot of materials for your Kudra grinding, because you need these keys, and getting these keys is either going to be from grinding your faction up, or it's going to be from killing all of those mini bosses that I pointed out earlier. So definitely get on your daily grind as fast as possible, and other than that, just complete your quests. There are a lot of quests to do on the island. I know I came over and talked to this guy over here, and then a 50 million health massive chicken player came and ran at me named Chickzilla, and I had to straight up kill it. There is just so much weird stuff going on the island that I don't really feel like I have to get into on this video, and it is a bit more fun to explore by yourself. But hopefully this puts you in the right direction. If it does help you out, then please smash that like button, maybe even subscribe. It's free. You can undo it later. And, you know, there's going to be more guides just like this in the future. So definitely let me know what kind of guides you want to see for the Crimson Isle update in the comments. This is a huge island with a lot of things going on. So anything you guys want to understand, definitely let me know down there. And that is going to be all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.